Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, let's just dive on in and let's start off with this video that got posted almost a week ago now from Gold Telegraph. Now, this is Ray Dalio, and he's talking about in 1945, the US had 80% of the world's money. Gold was money at the time. It had half the world's GDP. It had a monopoly on military power, so the US set the world order. This is important information as the world evolves. And yes, it is. We are going to listen closely to this video here in a second, but before we actually dive in, I want to also let you guys in on the idea that Russia and China, well, they have a vision of a new world order. And this is to, in quotation marks, counter American dominance and ultimately reshape the world. Now, the thing about this that's getting very interesting is because when we look at everything that has happened this year, we're talking about what the BRICS have been doing, about what's happening with the dollar. Everyone thinks that the US is done, they're dead, they're finished. I want you all to understand that these problems that we are seeing rising up, they are all created. They're creating the problem, they're waiting for the reaction, and guess what? They have the solution. And we're going to talk about that solution in this video. But let's first listen closely to this video that got posted, like I said, by Gold Telegraph, and then we will talk a little bit about it.
Are we, in your judgment, in a moment in which the world order is going to change?
Yes, we're changing the world order. Okay. In 1945, we started the new world order. What I mean is, throughout history, there's a fight for control because there's no world court that you go to and plead your case. And so there's a fight for power. So there's a war, and then the winners come out of that war, and the winners set the rules. And so 1945, the United States had 80% of the world's money. Gold was money at the time. It had half the world's GDP. It had a monopoly on military power. So the U.S. set the world order. That's why the United Nations is in New York. Washington, D.C. has the IMF and the World Bank.
And its currency became the reserve currency.
And its currency became the reserve currency because of that set of circumstances. Okay, things evolve, things change, okay, over history. So the three big things that are changing now that haven't occurred in our lifetime is the amount of debt and money creation, which affects the value of money, and you could see it affecting what's going on every day.
Large debt means the printing of money.
Right. The large debt puts central bankers in a choice. Do you pay it back with hard money, or do you pay it back with printed devalued money? And if you pay it back with hard money, it's hard. In other words, that's when you have debt crises. So in all cases, they eventually print money, and that produces inflation, right? So that dynamics, the first...
And that's the place we are at this moment.
That's the place we are at this moment. Okay. And we'll talk about that.
We'll drill down on that
in a minute. The second is when there's a great internal conflict, usually when there's a large wealth and values gap, and at the same time as you have a financial problem. Then you get populism of the left and populism of the right. In other words, those who feel disenfranchised want people who are going to fight for them. They don't want compromisers. They don't want them to be in the middle, because middle means that they're not fighting for them. They want them to have guts. So that you have populists of the left and populists
and their positions harden.
And their positions harden, and there are no compromises. That's why we're potentially in a situation that you could see in one of these elections, maybe in 2024, that neither side would accept losing. Perhaps we see that. You see, maybe you don't follow the rulings of the Supreme Court. Anyway,
that's a serious question today.
So these things have not happened in our lifetime, but they happened many times in history. So if you look at that, you see from those patterns why the gaps become greater and the positions harden, and you see the dynamic. So that's the second. And the third is the rise of a great power to challenge the existing great power. In other words, I gave you the example of how the United States was so dominant in 1945. Now it's not as dominant. It is not dominant. In other words, China and the opposition is as strong as the United States and its allies. And so we have a conflict. And there are 5 kinds of wars. And they start in this order, just sequentially, typically. A trade war, a technology war, a geopolitical influence war. Then you get into a capital and economic warfare, which we are now with sanctions. They always happened in history. And then there's a military war. And so you could see that progression happen through time. And that creates a template. So I like to look at the template and then plot dots to see how we're transpiring relative to that template.
And there you have it, right? Like, as we really kind of look at things, everything around us is evolving and it's following a template, or if you will, a design. Everything that we see around us, the conflict, the problems, the reactions, it is all designed by what they want you to see, what they want you to believe, and how they want you to act. And how do we know this? Well, because everything around us, the warpath regarding inflation, how it's eating up individuals' bank accounts, that's all made and created by them. And the biggest problem about this, right, this new world order that's rising is this CBDC system. That's what they want. They want this CBDC system. I seen this get posted by Digital Asset News. This is just a couple days ago. Now, do you see, this can't be good. When people are dipping into their 401ks under a hardship withdrawal, it means they need money now. From the IRS, for distribution from a 401k plan to be on account of hardship, it must be made on account of an immediate and heavy financial need. Look at this. This is people literally not having enough money to cover bills, cost of living, you name it. And this is what they want. Why? Because it's easy to push a CBDC onto people when they have nothing to lose. What they are going to do is wipe out those that are not aware of what's happening. I see people right now at a time where you should not be spending beyond your means and you should only be buying necessities. I still see people spending relentlessly on things that they don't need. This is why I keep telling you that the normie, and when I say normie, I mean people that are not aware of what's actually happening. They are either distracted, maybe they're not in, this space, they're not learning. Those are going to be the people that get wiped out severely because they are not aware of what's happening here. We just seen the European Central Bank announce this. Our governing council has decided to move to the next phase of the digital euro project. In November of this year, we will start laying the foundation for the possible issuance of a digital euro. A decision on issuing a digital euro will come at a later stage. Do you guys remember what I just said the other day? Let's go back to my profile real quick. Let's scroll down the list because I literally just put this out. It was just a couple days ago, 2 days ago. And this post got deleted. It was actually from the ECB. When you see this post is unavailable. I don't know why, but I said everything is aligning for November being a crucial month for major global financial system innovation and change. We have been following the dates dropped by Swift regarding ISO 2022 as well. Big changes are coming. And I keep telling you guys, everything is aligning for November. You have ISO 2022. You have them talking about incorporating digital assets and DLT and blockchain within the system. You have them now talking about an actual central bank digital currency, the planning, the laying the foundation for this starting in November, next month. Next month will change the entire path forward within the global financial system. I keep saying this not because I'm trying to sell you guys a used car, but literally everything changes next month. And this is all by their plan. And by the way, no, this is not the only central bank digital currency that is being explored and being launched. Look at this. 130 countries are currently exploring the use of CBDCs. This is going to be a major trend to watch. They are planning this. They have been planning this. Within this, we do see the Euro system proceeds to the next phase of digital Euro project. This is October 18th. Now, I'm just going to read the three major things here because, again, there's a lot of information within this that I just don't really want to go over and waste your guys' time with. But for the most part, they're saying that it's going to coexist alongside physical cash. I do question how long that's going to be because we already know that their plan behind this is to eliminate physical cash in order to have the CBDC being the dominant force. But I want to read the three bullet points here. Governing Council to start digital euro preparation phase following conclusion of 2-year investigation phase on design and distribution of a digital euro. preparation phase will lay foundations for a potential digital euro, with work to include finalizing rulebook and selecting providers to develop platform and infrastructure. Preparation phase will pave way for potential future decision on issuing a digital euro. Very interesting. And by the way, here's the digital euro project timeline as well, and we can actually see everything regarding this. And September 2023 was when we seen the governing council decision to possibly launch realization phase. And now we are there. This has been a long-term plan since going all the way back to July of 2021. Now, during this time, we also got a few screenshots regarding what their plans are actually regarding the CBDC, which we will get to here in a second. But I do want to play a video from Christine Lagarde, but also read this post by her as well, because she is the president of the ECB. We do see we need to prepare our currency for the future. While we haven't yet decided whether to issue a digital euro, we're getting ready. Now, here's where they talk about coexisting with physical cash. This is where I call nonsense, because they don't want physical cash. We know this from all of the documents that we have read regarding the World Economic Forum and many elite organizations. Beyond this, here we have a video regarding this announcement. We do see the euro is key to our European unity, a digital euro existing alongside cash. They have to keep saying that, alongside cash. It's very interesting. Would future-proof our currency. It would be safe, easy to use, and free of charge. While the decision whether to issue a digital euro will be taken later, we're now launching the preparation phase.
The digital euro is on the move. Yesterday, the Governing Council of the ECB approved the opening of the preparation phase. It will be a journey, and we will walk the journey together with the legislator. All European institutions will be involved to make sure that Europe is equipped with the currency of the future. Cash is here to stay. You will have all options, cash and digital cash. So what does it mean for you? For consumers, it would be free and easy to use everywhere in the euro area. All of that, of course, is subject to the legislative process. Cash or digital, the choice will be yours. Your euro, your choice.
Now, they do say, of course, the choice will be yours, but we know that this is not going to be the case. How do I know this? Because their plan, from the documents that we have seen, is to eliminate cash. Beyond this, we know, because of, again, the documents regarding this ECB, this is actually from the ECB, the source is from Towards a Legislative Framework for a Digital Euro. Shout out to XRP Crow for this, but we do see CBDCs for retail. The ECB is proposing the digital euro has the following spending restrictions. Look at this. 50 euros per transaction, 1,000 euros maximum spending limit per month, transaction limit 50 per month, and 3,000 euro digital euro holdings maximum. This is what gets me concerned, because listen, you could always fix privacy. Privacy is not a problem, but when you actually have central banks in control of your money, like we do now, we all see how that worked, then it kind of gets concerning, because they can add programmability to CBDCs where they could have limitations on what you can and can't do with your money. Outside of this, right, privacy-wise, like I said, privacy can be fixed. We know recently that CoinDesk put out an article regarding James Wallace from Ripple, right? He's the CBDC lead. He said the opportunities of CBDCs are nearly limitless, but mainstream usage will depend getting user privacy right. And it will. But beyond that, I don't think that we will ever be able to trust a CBDC, simply because guess what? The central bank is the one that is in control. And look at what the central banks have done for us, in the last however many decades. They have done nothing but harm the retail sector. They have eaten our savings away. People are now dipping into their 401ks in order to actually live their lives. Like, this is the big problem regarding central banks and having central banks in control. Also, in the UK, this got posted by Karma and there's a whole bunch of numbers, but listen closely to this video. It's a minute and 30 seconds long, and this is talking about the UK.
We have a CBDC update. The United Kingdom and the Bank of England are pushing for the adoption of a digital pound, and Britons would face a 20,000 digital pound limit under the Bank of England's plan. Britons would be limited to 20,000 digital pounds, which is approximately 24,000 US dollars each if the country goes ahead with a digital currency. On the Bank of England's government website, they show you all the positives of a central bank digital currency, how you can use it, and some common questions that are asked. Despite all these positive things they are trying to shill to you about a central bank digital currency, do you understand the risks that come with the government being able to limit your holdings? Imagine you are trying to save up for a big purchase like buying a house or sending your kid to college, but you can't because they put a limit on how much digital pounds you can save. And then once that limit is reached or a certain period of time goes by, then those digital pounds will expire. This is just one example of the power that the people are giving the government if you just blindly go along with this central bank digital currency plan. People always ask me when I share videos like this, what can I do to get involved? How can we stop this? Well, if you go to the Bank of England's government website, you will see that supposedly they are asking for people's views. So I encourage you to check out their consultation paper and also check out their engagement forum if you want to get your voice heard. How much impact this will actually have, I have no idea, but it's worth a shot.
Now, also beyond that, the best way to prepare for CBDC is to make sure that you are, one, holding hard assets. I have been tapping in on gold and silver for a while. I've been tapping in on crypto, obviously, deflationary tokens that have utility. And I've been locking that away in cold storage. Beyond that, also make sure that you are stockpiling resources as well. And I'm not, talking about go get a bunker and, hide away from society. No, but I think that people should be stockpiling, goods like, valuable goods, also, water, food, and things like that. And I've seen a lot of people talking a little bit about like ammunition, stuff like that. You can, obviously, but I still think that we need to focus heavily on the financial side of things and really kind of stockpile things outside of the fiat dollar because, I really do think that they have a plan in place for all of us. I think that the CBDCs are all a part of that. They have been moving heavily on CBDCs in the past couple months. Listen, 130 countries, that's a massive amount. And we know that this number has only grown rapidly in the last couple of years. I've shown you guys from the Atlantic Council, the chart. If you go back to 2017 and just in the last 6 years alone, the chart has just lit up. That's how fast they are exploring and trying to launch the CBDC system. And everything leading up to now, the FedNow service, for an example, and ISO 20022, it's all a part of the big plan that they have in place. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Peace out.